Good morning, class. So glad you're here today. Let's do our welcome song. Everybody stand up. Oh, rise and shine and welcome to lab today. Rise and shine and welcome to lab today. Rise and shine and welcome to lab today. We're so glad you're here. Oh, rise and shine and welcome to lab today. Rise and shine and welcome to lab today. Rise and shine and welcome to lab today. We're so glad you're here. Welcome today. We're so glad that you're here. What did we learn about yesterday? Do you remember? We talked about hearing, didn't we? So our ears are what send the message to our brain about what we're hearing, right? Let's do our 5 senses song. Are you ready? I have 5 senses that I use. They help me learn each day. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. I can't hear you. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. I use them every day. My 5 senses help me learn. They're pathways to my brain. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. They're pathways to my brain. Now let's play a little game. How many senses can you name? Five senses you can name. Awesome. So our 5 senses are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. And we learned yesterday that when people can't hear, then what is that called? They're deaf, right? So if you can't hear, you wouldn't be able to hear somebody talking, and so you wouldn't be able to communicate back. And so what do deaf people do? Oh, good. Yes, they use sign language. They use sign language. Do you remember the ones that we learned? Do you remember red? Red. Okay, we're going to add the Spanish word that goes with red too, okay? So red, and how do you do it in sign language? Red. And in Spanish, say rojo. Rojo, red, rojo. Okay, orange. And in Spanish, we say naranja. Naranja, so orange. Orange, naranja. Can you do it? Orange. Yellow. Yellow, amarillo. Yellow. Can you say it in Spanish too? Amarillo. Yellow. G. And green. G. This is a G is also a G. So this is a G in sign language, a G, and this is green. You shake your G. Green. Verde. Verde. Blue. How do we say blue? We have our B and we shake it. Blue. And in Spanish we say azul. Azul. Blue. What do we say for purple? Purple. Purple, we do a P and we hang it upside down. Purple. Purple, and in Spanish it's morado. Morado. Say purple. Morado. Then pink. Pink, we have our P and we flick it. Pink. Say rosa. Rosa. Pink. And then brown, we do our B. Brown, we slide it down our face. Brown. Brown, we say cafe. Cafe, brown. Cafe in Spanish. Good. Good job. Okay, and what about our feelings? How do we say feelings? Do you remember the middle finger and it brushes by our heart? Feelings. Feelings. How do we say surprised? Surprised. Tappers, surprised. Surprised. Good. What about scared? I'm scared. What about excited? Lots of feelings. So use that middle finger. Lots of feelings. I'm excited. What about silly? Silly. We got our y and we flick our nose. Silly. That's so silly. What about grumpy? Grumpy. I'm so frustrated, mad today. Grumpy. Grumpy. What about sick? I feel so sick. Use your middle fingers and touch your tummy and your forehead. I feel sick. And then what about love? Love, I love you. Love. Awesome. Okay, well, today we're actually learning about a different sense. So we've done hearing. These are the ones that we have left. And today we're gonna do seeing, seeing. So what sends the messages about what you're seeing? Yes, your eyes do. And what are some of your favorite things for you to see that you enjoy seeing? I love seeing waterfalls. I love seeing my family. I love seeing really happy people. I love seeing puppies. And I love seeing people do things that they're super good at. I enjoy that. I love seeing that. Now, if you can't hear very well, then you can actually get a hearing aid that will make a little microphone go into your ear. And that's called a hearing aid for hearing. If I can't see very well, I have something that can help me. Do you know what it is? What would help me if I can't see very well? Glasses. Yes, glasses would help me to be able to see better. Now, if you can't see at all, then what is that called? It's called blind, being blind. If you can't see at all, then you're blind. And blind people will use a walking stick as they're walking so that it can help them know what's in front of them so that they don't bump into things, so they can walk all by themselves even though they can't see. And that stick for walking is called a white cane or a long cane. Now, I love to read. And in order to read, then it's my eyes that are sending all those messages about the letters on the page and how I can read. If I couldn't see, what would I do to be able to read? What do people do? Let me tell you this cool story about a man called Louis Braille. So this was back in the early 1800s, and Louis Braille, his story started when he was 3 years old. He had an accident where he was in his father's shop and he managed to injure his eye. And his one eye, he couldn't see, but then it spread into the other eye so that he couldn't see from either eye. So then he was blind. And when he got a little older, he went to a school for the blind. And there they had a way of reading, and it was from raised bumps in paper, but it was really slow, and really it was really hard and complicated, and so it was really hard for people to read anything, and it took a super long time. Well, one day someone came to the classroom and spoke to them and presented to them, and it was a younger man, and he had a system for reading with the punctured dots. They had developed it for the military, for people in the army who it was nighttime and they wouldn't be able to see, and so they would teach them how to use this raised dot system, and it was actually easier than the one that they'd been teaching in the school for the blind. But it was still pretty hard, but it was easier. And so Louis Braille, started experimenting, and he thought, maybe I could make it even easier. And he started experimenting, and he tried all these different systems. He was just 16 at this time, and he practiced all these different systems, and he came up with this awesome system that used 6 different dots, but it could use the whole alphabet and all the punctuation, and it was so much easier. Well, they wouldn't let him use it because they wanted people to use the official writing for the blind, and they didn't want to change it. And so, even though it was easier, so it took a long time. It wasn't until 2 years after Louis Braille died that they actually started using it all over the place. And actually the United States took even longer to adopt it, but it eventually became what we call Braille. And Braille is how blind people read. And if it was really sad, it was really hard for Braille to have his eyes injured, but we're so grateful for him because we wouldn't have Braille if it weren't for him. Okay, I have a book for you. This one is called Senses in My World, Seeing. How do we see? We use our eyes to see. How does seeing work? Light bounces off objects. The light goes into the eye. The brain understands the light as pictures. What do we see? Jess sees sunshine. She knows it will be warm. Terry sees the menu. He knows pizza is for lunch. Anton sees the ball in the net. Goal! He knows he scored. Sam sees a green light. He looks both ways. He knows it is safe to cross. Erin sees red leaves. She knows fall is here. Will has trouble seeing. He wears glasses. Now he can see his book better. What things do you see? And what do they tell you? Seeing. Okay, and this one is awesome. This one's called the I Book. And since we're practicing rhyming, I want for you to tell me some of the things that rhyme in this book. Are you ready? I, eyes. My eyes, his eyes, his eyes. Wink eye, pink eye, pink eye. My eyes see, his eyes see. I see him, and he sees me. This is a boy, and he's talking to a rabbit. They're interacting together. Our eyes see blue, our eyes see red. They see a bird, they see a bed. Red rhymes with bed, bed, good. They see the sun, they see the moon. They see a fork, a knife, a spoon. Moon rhymes with spoon. They see a girl, they see a man. A boy, a horse, an old tin can. Man rhymes with can. They look down holes, they look up poles. Our eyes see trees, they look at clocks, they look at bees. Trees rhymes with bees. They look at socks. Our eyes see flies, our eyes see ants. Sometimes they see pink underpants. Ants rhymes with pants, huh? Our icy rings are icy strings. They see so many, many things. Strings rhyme with things and rings. So many things like rain and pie and dogs and airplanes in the sky. Pie rhymes with sky. And so we say, hooray for eyes. Hooray, hooray, hooray for eyes. Very cool. Okay, we're gonna do our self-control song. Ready?
Self-control. You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today.
Oh yeah, what a good idea.
When you turn on the TV, 'cause I wanna be watching cartoons, and there's nothing but a golf show. Those bad news, I always say
You're losing your
self-control.
Oh yeah.
You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today. When I sit down to dinner and a pizza would make me feel right, but my plate is full of eggplants, I get so mad at my mom. Self-control. You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today.
And tomorrow.
When I get done with my puzzle and little brother trips over his shoes and he falls right in the middle, that's when I lose my temper. Self-control. You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today. You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today. Self-control. You gotta use a little self-control. You are the boss of what you do and say. Try self-control today.
Okay, help me with these numbers. Are you ready? 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. Did you beat me? Did you know those? Do you know those by now? Pretty great. Good job. Okay, you might want to today try experimenting with not being able to see. You could see if your mom could put a little bandana around your eyes, maybe a washcloth around your head, your eyes, and you could see if you could maybe try building a tower with blocks without being able to see. Do you think you could build a tower without any eyes to guide you? Or you could take your pencil or a crayon and get a piece of paper and try, when you're blindfolded, see if you can make a little smiley face without being able to see it on the paper. Would it still look like a smiley face? Do you think you could do it? So you could try different things and see what it would be like for people who can't see, for people who are blind. Okay, today we have a rhyming page, a rhyming worksheet, and so you're going to draw a line from the ones that rhyme to the one that it rhymes with. So if it says hand, does hand rhyme with ball? No. Does hand rhyme with bed? No. Does hand rhyme with head? No. Does hand rhyme with 8? No. Does hand rhyme with fall? No. Does hand rhyme with skate? No. Does hand rhyme with sand? Yes! So draw a line from hand to sand and then do the other ones. And then we also have this one coloring page that says, how can a person who can't see read a book? Do you remember what that's called? With the dots that are pushed up through the paper? Everybody say Braille. Braille. If they can't see, it's called Braille. And then this says, I can see. Because we have eyes, huh? If our eyes are working, we have eyes. We should be thankful for that. Okay, everybody say, I work hard. I work hard. Say, I am awesome. I am awesome. See you next time.